Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. For the sake of our time, maybe we can start our webinar. Others will join later. Thank you so much for joining our webinar. Good morning, everyone, and I would like to welcome you all to our webinar, which has got a theme, Unlocking Business Intelligence with Power BI. My name is Msasia Shejo, and I'm so excited to be your host and MC for today's session, which is brought to you by Adept Solutions. Okay, so maybe before we begin, I'll just quickly share with you a few housekeeping guidelines. The first one is please ensure that your microphones are muted during the presentation to avoid background noise. Feel free to use the chat function for any questions or comments. And then we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So we're going to make use of the Q&A tab, which is on top of your screen. Maybe let me just share my screen so that I can show you the Q&A tab, which I'm talking about. Okay. Sharon, confirm you can see my screen. Okay, so for the Q&A session, we're going to use this tab on top here next to the chat tab on top there. You can type in your questions there. We're going to have a Q&A session. So we are going to respond to your questions. You can comment anything in the chat. You can use the chat box there. You can raise your hand if you cannot maybe see the screen of the presenter. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay. This session will be recorded and the recordings will be shared with you after the webinar. So don't worry. All the recordings will be shared to you after the webinar. Okay. So today's agenda, we are going to be focusing on Power BI, exploring how this powerful tool can transform your data into actionable insights. Okay, so our sessions will cover a comprehensive introduction to Power BI's capabilities, best practices for data visualization and reporting, advanced AI and automation features within Power BI. And then we're going to wrap up with a live Q&A session. So please feel free to submit your questions as we proceed. Okay. And then I would like to give you a brief introduction about who is Adept Solutions. So Adept Solutions, it stands as a multifaceted IT service provider in Zimbabwe, offering a blend of training, certification, licensing, consultancy, and strategic innovation. Their extensive partner network and commitment to addressing local business challenges, positioning them as a pivotal player in driving digital transformation across various sectors. Okay, and as Adept Solutions, we have our vision and our mission. Our vision is to provide practical and innovative IT solutions to you. And our mission is to empower people around the world to succeed through innovative IT solutions. Okay, so some of the services we offer as Adept Solutions are training services, testing services, licensing services, and consulting services. Okay. Allow me to introduce to you our speaker for today. I'm so excited to introduce Miss Sharon Rose Chikwizo, who is a seasoned expert in business intelligence and Power BI with extensive experience helping organizations harness their full potential of their data. We are honored to have Ms. Sharon Rose Chikwizo share their knowledge and insights with us. Without wasting much of your time, I'll hand over to Sharon to take over and start her presentation. Thank you so much. Enjoy the webinar.
Okay, so first things first, let's understand what Power BI is. Power BI is Microsoft Interactive Data and Business Intelligence. So this tool is used by data analysts to visualize data and to get business insight. So it helps users connect data sources, model data, and build insight dashboard and report. Right? Okay, so well, one may ask, what is the difference between data and data? So that's why we have this definition there. All right, so data analytics is a journey from raw data. So whatever is going to be happening, the raw data. All right. Hello. Okay, I think. How is it now? Yeah, I think it's okay. All right, sorry about that. People are failing to hear me out. Okay, so I think we can continue now. All right. So Power BI is a Microsoft's interactive data visualization and business intelligence tool. All right. So it's used by data analysts, and it's used for analyzing data and also making visualizations, including some dashboards. So it is used by data analysts. And then I was now explaining the difference between data analytics and data analysis. So with data analytics, we're saying that's the full journey of the raw data to business insights. Whatever is going to happen in between, be it preparing the data, cleaning the data, understanding what the data is, modeling the data, and then creating all the visualizations. That is all part of data analytics. And then when it comes to data analysis, it's now focused specifically on extracting meaning from data. So it could involve statistics and all that, right? Okay, so that is data analysis. Okay. AI in Power BI allows us to go beyond dashboards into predictive analytics, anomaly detection, and conversational insights, right? Okay, so Power BI already unlocks a value from data, but adding AI now helps unlock foresight, automation, and smarter insights, which is what we want to do for this webinar. We are not just going to talk about data, how you visualize data in it and all that. We are specifically concentrating on how we can use artificial intelligence within Power BI. Okay. Right. This is me. Welcome again to those that have joined just now. My name is Sharon Rose Chikwizo. I am a data analyst at Adept Solutions. And well, this is just about me. I have experience with Power BI, Excel, and Power Query. And I am very proficient when it comes to Azure AI tools. If you need anything, you can let me know. And also, I am passionate about making data insights accessible to all users. So including those people that have less technical experience, I hope they will also be able to get something from this. Okay, so the main goal for this webinar is to understand how AI and Power BI democratizes data analysis, and then also understand AI visuals. We have several AI visuals that we're going to talk about. And then also we want in the end of the day to empower everyone, regardless of the technical expertise, to be able to use data and derive some insights from it. So I have some sample data that I have with me. Well, it's our data. So as mentioned by Musa Siasha in the beginning of the webinar, we are a training organization, and through our training process, we come to a point where we take some evaluations from our clients, and that data, the evaluation forms, is what I'm going to be using to demonstrate some AI visuals within Power BI. Okay. So the AI visuals that we're going to unpack, we're going to talk about the decomposition tree, the key influences, the Q&A visual, and then we're also going to talk about the line chart, where we are going to use the forecast feature that will see, that uses prediction actually by artificial intelligence. So that's AI being powered within Power BI. All right, so you don't need to be adding anything really. Although, yeah, you can add some AI tools. For example, maybe you have your ML model. You can actually embed it within Power BI if you want. There's a feature with Power Query where you can also add some Azure models, some AI models. You can do that. But for today, specifically for this hour, we're going to be talking about the AI visuals that are found within Power BI. Okay, so let's understand what the decomposition tree does before we get to the demo. A decomposition tree, I'd like to call it a soft interrogating visual. So what it does is it takes a look at your data and then it interrogates it. So you get to see some information underlying within your data that you wouldn't have imagined of, okay? And it also drills down to some certain categories. And then we have the key influencer. The key influencer checks the reasons behind whatever insight you're seeing. If it's an increase or whether it's a decrease, you get to see all that by a key influencer visual. I'd like to call it the Sherlock Holmes of Power BI. And then we have the Q&A visual. Q&A is like Google. So what you get to do there is to just write a prompt, ask Power BI what you want, and then it's going to generate a visual for you. And then with forecasting, as I had mentioned, we're going to be using the line chart, and then we're just going to enable forecasting, and we'll be able to see some forecasting about our data. Well, that's not the only things that we're going to unpack. We're also going to add the quick insights feature, which is sort of like the control F of your problems. So you will have to find the problems, see the insights in your data, see the correlation if there is correlation, see how data is being related. So you don't need to do anything really. You're just going to get some quick insights, no technical expertise needed. You're just going to click. With a simple click, you'll be able to see some visuals from Power BI. All right, now let's get through the live demonstration of it all. Okay. Right. With me here is the Power BI service. And then I am also going to navigate to Power BI desktop. So the Power BI desktop is where we start from. Power BI desktop is a tool that you can also download on your laptop, and it comes for free. So you can download it. You can get your data by opening, I click got it. You can get your data there, and you can work with Excel workbooks. You can work with Power BI semantic models, data flows, database, SQL Server, analysis services, text or CSV files, web files, or data feed, and black query files, and then also Power BI template apps. You can also work with all these data sources. So these are data sources that you can work with within Power BI. So by getting data, you will be importing your data. You'll be importing your data that you're going to be using within Power BI. Okay, so I'm just going to make you see the data that I have here. So I have 6 tables that are related like so, right? Okay, so we have our evaluations, we have our trainings, we have our trainers, the courses involved, the calendar, which includes all the dates that we were training, and the students' information, right? So the main purpose of this analysis that I was doing here was to see whether we're getting was to check our data from evaluations and actually see whether we're getting positive results or negative results, and also focused what could happen in the future. So with this, I only used AI visuals for this. Okay, now let's get right into it. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about, the key influencer. So for this, if I click on it, right, you will see all the fields that I have put inside. So for the analyze, I'm going to be analyzing the score for the evaluation, and I am going to be explaining by the company. So it's like I am checking my evaluation scores, and I'm going to check which company is influencing more of an increase in the evaluation scores or a decrease in the evaluation score. So by this, you can actually tell which company is satisfied with your services or which company is more satisfied than the other. And you can also tell the ones that are not so satisfied if you change that increase to decrease. So it can happen. Anyone can actually do it from within the desktop, yes, and also you can do it from the service. So the service now, the difference between the desktop and the service is where you publish all the reports that you would have made from the desktop. Okay, so I apologize. I'm not going to talk much about the underlying features of the Power BI desktop. I'm just going to give a surface overview of how it works. So we start from the Power BI desktop, where you will be creating these visualizations, right? You use this pane for creating visualizations, right? I hope you can see it. So this is where you can select the visuals you want. The ones that we're working on today is the key influencer, the decomposition tree, and the Q&A, and then also the line graph, which is somewhere at the top here. All right. So these are the ones that has got some AI within them. So that's the key influencer. And then that's how it works. And also, if you go to the service now, right, it's loading. Okay, I'm just going to load it again so that it shows. Right. So that's the service now, showing exactly what we're seeing from the desktop. The desktop, you will be sharing a file as it is, but with the service now, you can add on some other users that can actually see the report as it is. So with the service is for sharing the information or sharing of the reports. So that's the key influencer. imagine you're sharing this service, you're sharing with all the users in your company, and they can be able to actually see those insights on their own. They can actually be able to check the increase or the decrease. They can be able to tell which company is more satisfied, which is not, etc., etc. All right. So that's all about it. And then you can scroll through and see all the other companies involved. So anyone can actually do it. Anyone can actually do it on their own. All right, now let's move to the decomposition tree. Decomposition tree, as I had mentioned, this is for interrogating, all right? So it's a polite interrogating tool where it's going to interrogate. So I can remove all this, right? I can remove all this. And then anyone, really, anyone that's going to be using this visual can go and add and show whether they want to show the type. So the type is the type of the trainers that we have. We have internal trainers and we also have external trainers. So that's how I had categorized those. So if I click on type, you will see that the sum of score is going to be splitted into two, the internal scores and the external scores. And just by looking at it, you can see that the internal scores are giving a much more larger score than the external score. So we're getting more scores from the internal, which can actually mean that most of our trainings are being provided internally, right? And then if I go and click a plus again on the trainer name, I also get to see how each trainer has performed, or the sum of scores for each trainer. And you can tell the one with the much more scores and the one with the lesser scores, etc., etc. All right. And then you can do the same thing for external. If you click on it, on the trainer name, you can also see the trainer that is performing, that has got the most scores compared to the trainer with lesser scores, right? So that's essentially what decomposition tree does. So you can add a lot of fields. If I go back to the desktop, as I had mentioned, you go back to your desktop. That's where you can do some changes, change the fields, all right? So the first thing, when you want to change, you click on the visual, and you'll be able to see all the fields that are in there, right? So if I expand the tables from the data tab, that's where I will see all the columns that are in my visual. So these ones that you are seeing being ticked there, the score, the trainer name, the type, these are the fields that I'm using to show on this visual. So that's the decomposition tree, and that's what it does. So for each trainer, again, you can actually drill down for each and see how each is performing, etc., etc. To change the fields, you change by manipulating this explain by file. So you can remove by clicking this X. If you want to add back again, you look for it and then you add it. Okay, so for now, that's like students, company. We want company courses. All right. And then you can either drag or drop, or you can simply click it. And there we'll be having it. So if I click plus and then company, I'll be able to see each company like that. So essentially that's how these two work. So I've talked about the key influencer and the decomposition tree. And now moving on to this one, a much more interesting one, requiring less expertise, I promise. What you need to do here is to enable your Q&A, and then you simply prompt a question as if you're prompting ChatGPT or something like that. So the reason why I'd called it the Google of your data, it means you are actually asking it, and it's going to give you some information about your data. But the thing about the Q&A is when you prompt it, it's going to give you a visual. It's going to give you a visual that can show you whatever you would have asked. Okay, so for the first one, I had asked how many courses are there? And this is what I got, 57 courses, right? So we have 57 courses from the data that I had inputted in my Power BI. So we had 57 courses, so that's what's being shown there. So you will see that for those that are proficient with Power BI, you'll see that the visual that comes out, it's actually found there. This is called a card. So what the Q&A is doing is I am going to ask it a question, and then it's going to give some visual of what I have asked. So it picks from any of these visuals and it's going to give me the answer. Same for how many students, and also note there is a typo here, but the ability of the AI embedded within Power BI to actually understand the natural language that, okay, this person could actually be meaning students, how many, and then it's going to tell me that it's showing the results of how many students from Econet company, right? And then it's going to give me the total number of students from the Econet company. All right, same applies with this one. I asked the average score. What is the average score by trainer? And I'm going to get the average score of each trainer, right? So you can tell with average score now, it's a bit different from the sum of score. Sum of score was implying actually the number of people you could be training. You could be training more. But with average score, it's actually telling us the average score that you get from the trainings that you have trained. So if it's for example, this one at the top, the average score, that's a 5. So we also have two tips. You see this thing of hovering on top of a visual and you see some information about it. We call these two tips. So if I hover on each and every part of the graph, I see some two tips. I see some information concerning that data point. So if I click here, I'm going to see the trainer name and the average score. If I click here, the next person that's following the average score is 4.56, right? And then you can see the next one who is following, etc., etc., like that. Okay, and then average score by course duration. Again, you may need to see it for those that are involved in a business like ours. Average score by course duration. Is course duration really affecting the score that is there? So from this, I could actually tell that the ones with fewer days, probably because of less interaction with the trainer, or less interaction, or less time, really, less time to actually learn. People may end up putting lesser scores compared to those that have learned a more number of days. So you can see that the least number of days we have the list there, the list performance 1 and 2, and then as we go to 3 days, our score is increasing. 4 days, it's increasing. 5, or it's slightly low, probably because of some other circumstances that would have happened. We don't know, but yeah, exactly. You can see the insights from that just by asking a question. All right, so let me show you how you can do this. I have added a new page, and then I'm going to click Q&A, right? And I'm going to enlarge this. So depending on your data, you're going to get some suggestions of the questions that you can use. Okay, so you could say, show me students count from for the last year, show me student count for the last month, top questions by average evaluation score, top training venues by average evaluation score, something like that. Okay, let me pick top questions, right? Top questions by average evaluation score. So we are seeing the top questions where we are getting the larger score, the questions that we get more large scores. So you can see that the trainer was supportive and encouraging. We had, we always, in fact, if I hover on it, I'm going to see the average evaluation score of 4.79. So that's how you can see some insights on it. You don't even need to look to your data, think of a visualization that you can use to actually show some insights and all that. You don't even need to think. You just need to prompt it as if you're prompting Google, as if you're prompting ChatGPT, as if you're prompting any AI tool that you can use. So you're just prompting Power BI, and then it's going to tell you how your data is like. It's going to give you insights concerning your data. So basically, that's how you do this. All right, if I go back to the service, that's it. So from the service, a person can actually go and change the question on their own, and they can see whatever is happening there. So I want to go and change for the Econet company, and I'll say how many students from, maybe say UNDP company, and then it's going to load, right? So essentially, that's how you do it. So with service, you see that the people that you actually share this report with, they can actually be able to see the insights on their own. They are not only limited to what you have provided for them. They can make some changes, they can do on their own, they can see some insights on their own, etc., etc. And now moving on to forecasting. All right, with forecasting, this is what I did. Let me go back to the desktop. Okay, so with forecasting, I started by putting some information. So this is year against average evaluation score. So I wanted to see how our average evaluation score is going with the trend of our evaluation score per time, across the periods that we have had those online evaluations, right? So it's from January 2024 up to about, what's this? April, up to April 2025, right? So this is the last time we had those evaluation forms. And then what's coming after is a forecast. How did I enable this? If you click on your visual, right, as you can see, line chart is selected, which is actually showing me that I have added a line chart. The fields that I've added date to my x-axis, to my y-axis, the average evaluation score. And then you have to go to this analytics pane, and then that's where you enable forecast. At the bottom there, you will see forecast. So forecast only comes with this line graph. You cannot see it with anything. You use it for visuals that show you the trends. So you can enable it if you want it on. If you want it off, you can disable it like that. So if I put it on, that's what happens. And then with this, you can actually even change the points, forecast length, and all that, right? And also you can change the confidence interval. But for data analyst, we use that 95%. That's the default one we use, is that data analyst. So that's what you have as default. All right, and also I added a slicer, a button slicer for this, so that I can be able to see the average score for external trainers and the average score for internal trainers. So this is another visual you get. So as I selected it, let me show you. All right. So it is a visual. It's a button visual. It's right here, a button slicer, right? And then I've only added one field to it. I added the type, which I said it's the type of trainer, right? So that's what I added here. So you can see the external average score and also the internal average score like that. So that's a forecast you're getting with, it's forecasting that is going to at least be stagnant like that. And then it's also going to show this gray area that is going to show maybe the error is giving the lower bound and the upper bound, just in case it could make some wrong predictions. So it could be either here or at the upper bound or the lower bound. So it's the prediction is lying within the upper bound and the lower bound of the area. So that's how you enable forecast, and that's how it works. So same applies if you share this. If you share this, with people, they can actually be able to see on their own the external, the internal, or everything else like that. So that's forecasting, and that is how it works. So far I've talked about key influencers, decomposition tree, Q&A, and forecasting, right? Now, if you navigate to your workspaces, all right, I am working with my workspace. This is where I have published everything. All right. I have several things that I have published in here. There's customer feedback. There's a dashboard, sales analysis, blah, blah, blah. Okay, webinar demo, this is the one I'm using. So there's the report. The report is what we were seeing just now. And then there's the semantic model, which is essentially the data model of the data that we've used. All right. So if you go on more options and click on get quick insights, it's going to take some time searching for some insights, and it's going to give you some insights about your data. So as you can see, I've used just the semantic model, which is the data model of whatever we have. So which means regardless of publishing many visuals or anything, if you just publish your data, you will be able to get quick insights from your data. So these insights are now giving us how the data is relating, right? You get a lot of visuals from this. So anyone can do it, be it you're an executive, you're a manager, you don't even have expertise on Power BI or that, you can get quick insights of your data. So it's another artificial intelligence embedded tool within Power BI that you can actually use. You can get this same feature from desktop. Go to desktop and you click on publish and then save, and then you select where you want to publish it. Here I'm going to select testing this time, right? Give it time to publish. Right. You can either open the report itself, or you can open the quick insights. If I click on get quick insights, I'm going to get just the same thing that I obtained there. All right, so as you can see, it's the same insights, that I got from here, I'm getting them again here. All right, so you can see, all right, let's look at the first graphs that we can see. Evaluated trainer count and count of courses. There is a correlation between evaluated trainer count and the courses. All right, that's true. Again, we have, and the evaluated trainer count is trending upwards for quarter 1 2024. So trainer count was trending upwards for the first quarter, right? Okay. Adept Solutions Harare is noticeably more student count, which means we have trained more students here at Adept Solutions at our premises compared to the other premises that we have trained at. So it looks at the data, anything really, and it's going to give you insights concerning that data. It's now up to you to then take some actions concerning that data. And then again, we have Adept Solutions Harare accounts for the majority of the calendar. All right, that's majority of the calendar. We're getting again Adept Solutions. And then excellent and good, noticeably more student counts, right? These are the comments that we, so it can either be excellent, good, satisfactory, fair, poor, right? So you can actually get insights on where we are getting more scores. So since the excellent is okay. And then we also have average evaluation score by average evaluation score. Okay, so these are just two measures. It's comparing, I created two different measures and it's comparing those two, and there actually is a correlation. So which means it's actually like the same thing, evaluation score and average evaluation score. All right, what else? Evaluated trainer count and count of calendar. All right, so that's evaluated trainer count at the x-axis, count of calendar, the number of days, and then students count is trending downwards for month number 10. Students count was trending downwards for month number 10. All right, so yeah, must be October thereabout. And now count by company. All right, so these are the insights that you get just by clicking quick insights. You get to see some are important, some are not, but you get all the insights that are available in your data. All the insight there is in your data. So that's how you use quick insights. All right. Okay, so recap. We have seen how the quick insights can spot problems before you hit some headlines, right? Before you even do anything, before you even check some insights, before you even click some visualizations or anything, you can use some quick insights to spot some problems. And then we have the Q&A, right? The Q&A, which can make anyone an analyst of their own. You just simply need to type in whatever it is that you want to type in, and then you'll be able to get the insights. And then also we have the decomposition tree, which breaks down some KPIs and fix issues surgically. So we were breaking down some issues, and then we were getting to interrogate our data, seeing more about our data, seeing some insights about what's happening there. And then key influencers, understanding the why or the reason behind a customer's behavior, right? And then the forecasts, which would predict the next moves. So these are the visuals. So I hope you managed to learn something out of this. If you want more information, you can let me know. That's the Q&A, decomposition tree, the key influencer, and forecasting being enabled on the line graph. Okay. Right, let me get back to the slides and see if there is anything else to talk about. Okay, there's been made some statistical review concerning data analytics and where it's going. So according to Gartner, over 80% of the enterprise business decisions will be influenced by data analytics by 2026. And tools like Power BI are leading this transformation. So if you want to be doing data analytics, Power BI is the it tool that you can actually use for that. Most companies, especially for Zimbabwe, most companies here, they use Microsoft tools, and Microsoft is creating an ecosystem where things are going to be interconnected. As I was mentioning for Azure earlier, we now have Azure that you can actually embed within Power BI. So it's Microsoft creating some ecosystem where you have so many tools that will be interconnected together. They're now saying Power BI is going to be the leader of that transformation in data analytics. I know some may want to use tools like Tableau for analytics, but yeah, my advice is take Power BI. Power BI is good for that. Okay. All right, data analytics is not just about numbers, it's about turning questions into insight and then insight into action. So the thing is getting your data. So look at it. I just picked data or evaluation forms, and from there, I decided to actually get some insights from it. And now it's up to us to take the action concerning that data or the insights that we have obtained, right? It's now up to us to make some actions and look at it and actually obtain some advantage from data analytics. All right, so I think now we can do the Q&A session. Right, we can now do the Q&A session where you will just have to ask me questions, anything related with Power BI, anything about what I've presented, anywhere you might need me to repeat and all that. So I think for this, Musa can lead us. Feel free to type in your question if you have any question. Okay, so I had put some of the questions that you might have. I understand some people are actually new to data analytics, and they might want to know what exactly is Power BI. What's the difference between Power BI and Excel? Power BI is a tool by Microsoft where you can visualize data, and it works with big data. You can actually import some data directly from your SQL server and you can visualize it. And also it supports modeling, where you will need to interconnect different tables from different sources. You interconnect that, you'll be creating a model. I understand for those that joined the first minutes, that joined early, they could see the model of my data, the data that I used. I also created a model for that. But with Excel, it comes with some limitations. Yes, you can analyze your data. Yes, you can also put some graphs on it, some visuals on it, but it's for spreadsheet level analysis, and it's for data that is little. If you're working with large data, let's move to Power BI. The courses, the certifications that you can do to enhance, we have Microsoft Excel Advanced, right? This is the starting point. But if you're completely new to Excel, then definitely start from the beginner's course and then move to the intermediate course and then go to advanced, of course, right? After that, you can do CompTIA Data Plus. It's an introductory course about data analytics. The good thing about this course is it includes also some data analysis when it comes to statistics. So there are also some statistical calculations that you can actually do, understanding what exactly is correlation when you're talking about correlation, what are the tests, what are the questions we need to ask ourselves when we have the data, right? And then we also have this course now, Power BI. Power BI now introduces you to Power BI itself, right? And of course, you start from cleaning the data. How do you clean the data? I know some of you are wondering, okay, that's data that you've used, but it's already cleaned. We wanted to know, how do you clean that? It's a process. It's a process. You can't lie. It's a process. It's a huge process to actually come up with some data, clean it, and all that. But also, for those that joined yesterday, there is a way to actually automatically have Excel compile all the information that is coming from the feedback forms, right, automatically by using Power Apps. So you can use Power Apps to actually have data that will be embedded within your Excel file, and then you can later on import the Excel file to Power BI for analysis. All right, there. So Microsoft Power BI Analyst is a course that introduces you to Power BI. All this that I was talking about, you actually get to learn about it with Power BI, right? Actually get to learn about it with Power BI. And then as a bonus course, yeah, you can take Microsoft Azure AI Engineer. Why? Because it's the course that talks about all the AI models that comes with Microsoft. So if you want to get to those two, if you want to get to use your ML models or anything like that, you can start doing the AI engineer and get to know the artificial intelligence models that comes with Microsoft, and also how you can link them with other Microsoft tools like the Power BI we were talking about, right? And the prerequisites for the Azure AI engineer, the prerequisites, we have Microsoft AI, Azure AI fundamentals as a prerequisite, and we also have Microsoft Azure Data Fundamentals. You need to do those two before you do Azure AI Engineer. But if you want to save money, then you can definitely go to the associate level. It's still okay. We will find ways to actually assist you to pass that certification. All right. Power BI free to use. I had spoken about that earlier. And then can someone without technical expertise use Power BI? Yes, you can. Musa, over to you. Kindly, if there are some Q&As for me, some questions for me, actually.
Hello, Sharon.
Yes, hi, Musa.
I was checking the Q&A chat box, but unfortunately there is no question. But I got a comment from Shepard. He's appreciating, he's saying quite informative. Thank you. So I think for now we can proceed. Are you done with the presentation?
Yes, but I will need people to actually scan this for us. And also please take note of the courses for data analytics that I've mentioned here. So if you would like to if you want to get trained concerning these courses, you can let us know. This QR code is actually going to ask you the courses that you want to do. So you can list them all. And we can talk about that. So stand a chance to get trained with us, concerning this. So these were just some highlights on the things that
and sorry to jump
all right,
in.
that's okay.
But also, I know Power BI is a very important, very famous business application course. So if you would also want to stand a chance of winning one free training for Power BI, of course the exam will be have to be self-funded, but it is $80. But if you'd like to get free Power BI training, please fill out the form, and we'll pick one person from the people that now were training from both sessions for the past 2 days.
Thank you very much, Tendai. Right, that's our phone number. That's the email address. You can also directly contact us and let us know if there are any courses, even those that are not data analytics related, any other course that you may need, you can actually let us know. Thank you very much. Over to you, Musa.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe let me just put the link for the evaluation. In case you're having challenges scanning that QR code, you can use the link that I've put in the chat. Okay, thank you so much, Sharon, for the insightful presentation. Thank you. We really appreciate you. And I would like to thank you all for joining us today. We hope you found the session insightful and valuable. So as we wrap up, please take a moment to complete the evaluation form that I've just shared the link in the chat, or the QR code, which is on Sharon's screen. Your feedback is essential in helping us improve our future sessions. So please take your time, fill in the evaluation form. And if you would like to stay in touch, feel free to reach out to us. We are at number 5 Raleigh Street, Fidelity Life Tower, 9th floor in town. You can also reach out to us on the contact details provided on the screen. We're going to share with you the recordings of this session and any other additional resources for further learning. You can indicate your interested courses in the evaluation form, and we are going to contact you and help you in all those aspects. Once again, I would like to thank you so much for being part of this webinar, and have a great day. And we hope to see you in our next webinars, our next trainings. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, and bye for now.
Thank you very much. That's all from me. Bye.